Good midday morning to you. Hello. Listen, we are excited today to give you 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of inspiration. And I trust and pray that you're going to be blessed by this morning. I'm excited about sharing it with you. If you want to share and share the podcast, share the YouTube or the Facebook channel, we would certainly appreciate that. But it's been placed in my heart, and we'd come on at 10 o'clock 5 days a week to just give you 5 minutes to live by. And today we're going to be giving you point one of a message that we ministered entitled God's Plan for Deception and Betrayal. Today we're going to talk about the deception of good intentions, the deception of good intentions. Tomorrow we're going to look at the deception of evil intentions, and the next day the salvation of God's intentions. So in our lesson text, Matthew 25:10, the Bible says, "And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another." And I want to stick right there for just a minute. If you're trying to avoid offenses, good luck with that. It's not going to happen. But then there's a particular offense that really bothers us, and it is betrayal. It is the offense of deception. Now, perhaps you've heard the phrase, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." This first offense of deception comes from what I call good intentions. That is, those involved mean well, but folks are being deceived and destroyed nonetheless. It is an axiom that simply means that even with benevolent intent, we still end up in destruction. I want you to understand something, that this first level of deception usually comes from good intent. When we develop close friends and when we develop lovers and people that we knit our souls to, those people don't come into our lives with the intent of hurting us. We don't come into their lives with the intent of hurting them. And nevertheless, that's exactly what happens. I call this involuntary manslaughter, that you didn't mean to kill the person, but they're dead nonetheless. It happens all the time. It's involuntary. It's accidental. I didn't intend it. If you've ever had to phrase it, my married folks, "We need to talk," I guarantee you 9 times out of the 10, at the end of that talk, things are worse than what they were before you started. You didn't intend for it to end that way. Nevertheless, that's exactly what happened. And unfortunately, this same thing happens in spiritually. I call it spiritual involuntary manslaughter. We engage in offenses of deception and killing each other, although it was not our intent. And you know why it happens? Because we are imperfect beings. I went into this relationship with all intent to live happily ever after. And now we fighting over pots and pans. Can I preach, or am I just by myself? People don't become close friends. They don't get married with the intent of, "I'm going to divorce you one day. I'm marrying my ex-wife." Y'all ain't working with a brother in this place. No one starts out that way, but we do end up that way involuntarily. It is because good intent is never good enough. The road to hell is paved with good intent. Let me say that again. Good intent is never good enough. Jesus said to one man, said, "Why callest thou me good?" Do you understand something? That your good is never good enough. Your good heart will deceive you every time. Jeremiah said, "The heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know her?" Isaiah said, "We are all as unclean things, and all our righteousness," that's our behavior, "are as filthy rags, and we do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities," there is the key, "like the wind hath taken us away. Do you understand that it is sin? That's what the 12th verse that Jesus was telling us in Matthew 24 says. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. My love for you can grow cold. My love for my friends can grow cold because of sin and iniquity. I didn't intend it. I didn't think this was going to happen, but nevertheless it happened. I know that you didn't intend it, but baby, I'm hurting. I feel betrayed. I feel hurt. And even with this, listen. God's got a plan. You know what that plan is? It is the love of God. See, my human love for you can fail. My eros love, my sexual love for my mate can fail. My friendship love, my filial love can fail. Best friends can become frenemies and then enemies. Lovers can become haters because those loves are not perfect. But there is a love that is closer than a friend, that is closer than a brother. There's a love that'll cause you to lay down your life for your friend. There is a love that will cover a multitude of sins. And that's God's plan for your life. That's God's plan to give you a love that does not wax cold. I'm going to preach right here. See, sin and iniquity will cause those human loves to wax cold. And before you know it, you've betrayed somebody. You've hurt somebody. Before you know it, you have deceived somebody. It was not intentional, or they've done it to you. It was not intentional because of their human love. But with the love of God, the love of God, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him would not perish but have everlasting life. I want y'all to know that my time is up. So don't just live life, live a victorious life and have an amazing day. Tomorrow we're going to go a little bit deeper and look at the intentional hurt. Stay